What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Tattoo Wheels and Tattoos. Today we have legendary tattooers with us, Bernadee and Theunis from Awhe Tattoos. Really stoked to have them today. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Gonna dive a little bit into who they are, what they're about, and what is Awhe Tattoos. So I guess everyone's question is always the same thing. So we'll start with the same thing everyone asks. How did you guys actually get into tattooing?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So my stepfather's a Hells Angel, and him and another angel ran the industry back in the 90s. So I kind of grew up in tattoo shops from the age of 9. Yeah, so it actually wasn't a thing for me. Like, it wasn't anything cool just because I grew up around it. My stepfather was like fully tattooed and stuff like that. So I actually went into corporate and did life insurance for 15 years. And then I dabbled in tattooing. We always had the tattoo studios, and then I would do a tattoo and be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
And like 7 years ago, I kind of went like, okay, I think it's time. And then pretty much after lockdown, I pretty much started doing full time.
Yeah. So you're kind of like born into the lifestyle of tattooing.
100%. So like, I mean, I also only got tattooed in my late 20s because it, again, wasn't anything cool to me. So when I was 16, I did approach my stepfather, and I was like, I think I might want to become a body piercer. And he was like, you have to touch men's.
Yeah, well, you don't want to touch them.
Oh no, okay, never mind then. He's like, why don't you tattoo? And I was like, no, man. And obviously because your parents suggest something, you're like totally against it. So, well, here I am now, so.
Well, obviously with no regrets, you
No, for sure not.
Yeah. See? Tell us your story.
Well, I'm not going to tell you the Paul's one.
Yeah, let's hear it all there.
No. We leave that one for another occasion.
All right, cool. We'll come back.
So, I was busy studying art, and the next minute this oak walked into the class, and he had full sleeves, and I'm talking mid-90s.
Yeah.
And you didn't see people with full sleeve tattoos,
Yeah, it was never a thing.
Maybe she did, but I didn't, And we ended up having a cigarette outside, and he started talking, and I was like, hey, Peter. And he was like, yo, how did you know? I'm like, man, we used to play soccer in my grandmother's back garden together. And then, he had his own little shop, and then that shop got closed down by her stepfather. And, I was always hanging around them when he started working for her stepfather, and next minute I know I was tattooing. I always wanted to try it, but never knew I wanted to do it for a living.
I remember, like
20 years later, I'm still here. 20 years plus.
Yeah. Well, also, no regrets.
No.
I mean,
been a good rider.
Yeah. Well, there's still many years for you. So.
Hope so. Can't see who you.
Just that stranger, that like silhouette sitting in your studio. So I mean, I remember because I actually used to work for you guys, which is quintessential part of my career as a tattooer as well.
Worst days of my life.
No, definitely one of the better times of my life in my career. You guys actually gave me quite a good opportunity, and what you do for the industry itself, it's amazing. The fact that you guys are still here, considering how many other tattooers aren't. It's absolutely amazing, and I would take my hat off, but I don't really have a hat. So, the fact that you guys are still here and you guys are still doing really well, it's really awesome. So it also kind of needs to how does the whole Awhe thing work? What is it standard day for you in Awhe?
Gosh, well, literally we get to the studio at 8:30.
Yeah.
Kind of get in, have some coffee and stuff, and then we literally start tattooing at 9:30. If we have a full day, we just tattoo all the way through.
Yeah.
And normally, we'll have 2 or 3 pieces a day. Normally 2 4-hour bookings. We might squeeze in some script every now and again, but it's literally we've got to the point where luckily the studio kind of runs itself. So we're lucky in that sense. But we kind of get in and get working.
Yeah, just get stuck in straight away. Yeah. But I mean, I guess that's kind of the thing that you've had to do especially being around it for so long. It's what you know. Just come in, do the work, have a really good time doing it as well.
100%,
give your clients a good time with it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, obviously, you know, every day is different because there's different clients with different stories and that kind of thing. So it's entertaining. You know, we enjoy it still. So
yeah. But as long as you're having fun, I mean, the day that you stop having fun, it's not worth it anymore,
100%,
is it?
yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah.
but I mean, like, if you had to walk into your studio and just go, I don't want to be here, like, what is the point of it then?
100%. And then we try to balance, like, you know, like, as you know, we work super hard and work all the time.
Well, I mean, it's after 8 o'clock in the studio and we're still here. I mean, your client just walked out like 10 minutes ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
But this year we're trying to, like, just balance it a little bit more.
After lockdown, I think we actually balanced it a lot more.
Like, because we're working 7 days a week and most nights late.
Yeah.
So we've kind of tapped out a little bit, yeah.
So, in lockdown, I think we all just realized, you know, we don't have to work like
so
that,
hard,
you know? It's
like
just time to be human, you know?
Yeah, you need that little bit of like you time and like that break away from it where it still keeps like tattooing in that peripheral view.
Yeah,
you keep that spark with it alive, you know.
We still do our late Tuesday nights just because, you know, clients work and, you know, we need to make ourselves accessible to them. But yeah, we're trying to take Sundays off. It's proving quite difficult because we're busy, but
the holy grail of tattooing, that, you know, that's, as people would say, what is it? The Sabbath day. Yeah. You know, you guys are still, you know, 20 years plus, as you say, like, you 7 years of tattooing.
100%.
You know, like, it's.
And my stepfather's studio, I still run it for him, and I mean, it's been going since 1994.
Yeah.
It's still going strong, so.
Yeah, I don't think that shop's going to die anytime soon.
Yeah.
There's been many artists in there that's tried it and they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, you know, I guess like you guys have so much of tattooing history within each other, you know, like, I mean, even just on your own, like by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, 20 years, 7 years, but I mean, since a
yeah.
youngling.
So I've been in tattoo shops like way longer than
yeah.
even Theunis has. I was like mixing inks and building needles when I was like 12, you know, so.
It was from the devil in my eyes.
Yeah, I had cool parents like.
Yeah, like, we want you to do this, like, go and do it, you know.
Exactly.
Whereas other parents are like, no, maybe, you know, go be a graphic designer, like, you got more chance.
Exactly.
My mother plays the organ for the NG Kerk, you know, like.
Look, like
I'm not joking.
Yeah, he really does. But my stepfather was really strict though. Like, we had to finish school and all of that. I wanted to go to college. He's like, there's no way, you'll get your matric and then you can go
do what you want, kind of thing.
Yeah, so. Still.
I mean, like, with all those collective of years, like, if there's any like pinpoints or like really standout memories that you guys have, like, what would they be?
I think probably opening Awhe, like back in 2009.
7. No,
8.
2008. 27th of September.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was like daunting, you know what I mean? Because back in the day, there was still that mutual respect of stepping on people's toes and stuff.
Yeah.
So even though Theunis had been tattooing for long and I'd been in the industry for quite some time, it was going to all the studios and asking permission and finding the right
Just being respectful,
100%. Yeah. I mean, even our name, like, you can see there was not much thought. Well, there actually was.
Yeah.
Because we were so stuck, so we kept asking our friends and they were coming up with the most ridiculous names.
Yeah.
And then at that time, everybody was like, Awhe, and we're like, well, that's pretty friendly and South African, let's just do that.
Yeah, like, it's Awhe, bro.
It was before the days of WhatsApp, man. We were still SMSing it.
Hey, jeez, like, that's probably
WhatsApp didn't exist.
like BBM and Mix It and like all those. Yeah. You got to buy like your bundle for it. Yeah.
And then obviously like opening Awhe and then the big moves. Like when we moved premises, we've only moved twice. But like big step from like a small, tiny little 50
I remember that
square
shop,
meter studio to like 112 in an office park was quite a big.
Yeah, it's quite a big step, you know. But I mean, that's always like the progress that you want for essentially your brand.
For sure.
You know, everyone wants to just like see that growth, and then you get the other people like, why are you guys doing this?
100%.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's your baby, it's your brand, it's
exactly.
your Awhe.
Yeah.
And you want to make
and
it more
also,
aware.
Yes, 100%. You just need to also cater for your clientele, and then we got lots of like high-end clientele.
Yeah.
You know, we steered away from our normal run-of-the-mill clients. You know, the stereotypical people getting tattooed.
But even like the look of your shop, I mean, it's very upmarket. It's welcoming. It looks like you want to walk in and be like, I don't want to go home. I just want to stay and keep getting tattooed.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. So like, I mean, we have people like, I mean, like our friend that just left.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he'll pop in every second day just to come have a chat, and that's what we want. We want people to feel welcome.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I live, well, my wife and I, we live about an hour away. And I mean, if you guys were close, I'd be here every day.
100%.
You know, like, you guys are always such a rad vibe to be around. Like, there's always positive energy, you know. There's always shit being spoken, and like always everyone's laughing, and it's always cool, you know.
I think that's 90% of our day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Talking shit.
if you're not having a good time, and you know your clients sit there going like, wow, this is pretty boring, you know. So.
And I found lately that like lots of the clients are coming in with like very heavy stories and sad stories, and like, so I mean, if they had to come into a morbid situation or you know, it would just suck. So we try to keep it as light as possible because people are going through a lot at the moment.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in the world at the moment, and you know, to try and distract them from it is really cool. And you kind of, it's also the part that comes with the job of tattooing is we become, I'd say, like therapists to our clients. And
We just get couches for the customers.
oh, like the one behind us. How does this make you feel? Are you comfortable?
Show me on this teddy, where did they touch?
Oh, jeez. You still got it. It's right there. The touch me teddy. I remember that, yeah. That's just, yeah. No, but I'm really stoked for you guys. You know, like, you know, you guys have grown and you keep growing. And, you know, I guess with every business, there's always something that happens to you. And you guys know how to deal with it really well. And, you know, you just take it on the chin and you just walk over it and carry on, you know. And, you know, I mean, just you said, what, 2007, 2008, like from then to now. I'm not good with maths, I'm good at drawing pictures, but it's a long time. Yeah, and you guys are still going. And, you know, I guess from where you are now to... you guys are probably going to be going for like another 20, 30 years. Hopefully, yeah. You know, but I mean, within that time frame, like, what do you guys even have planned? Like, is there anything cool?
Sure. Well, obviously, as you know, like I have been to your lovely girl to get trained with PMU and stuff like that. So that would obviously we'd get running at some point. But no massive plans at the moment. Like we've decided just to keep it small and concentrate on our artwork for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have that little side business, my jump fitness studio. So I'm
is that yours? I didn't know that was. Oh, that's sick.
I'm one of the partners. So just concentrating on that for a little bit. But yeah, definitely. I mean, again, being a tattoo artist, you need some sort of a passive income.
It's not just tattooing. You kind of have to like.
So we've got 1 or 2 things in the pipeline, but not anytime soon though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, you guys are going to the international convention in March.
Yes.
Are you guys excited for that?
Very. So it's like my first time actually tattooing at a proper convention. So I'm pretty stoked about that because I was always like, you know, making sure Theunis was at the conventions and he was happy and he was booked up and stuff, and just making sure everything ran smoothly. So it's the first year I'm tattooing myself. So yeah, it's a bit daunting. I tattooed a Comic-Con when we had our stall there, and I was just like, okay, well, you know,
this is like a little bit of practice run.
I think if you can handle Comic-Con, you can.
I hope to hell that it's not as busy. Like honestly, but I'm pretty much fully booked anyway for the convention. Okay. So I know what pieces I'm doing. I think so that would also just help, and it's also just being around so many good artists as well. But like Voldu and Romeo are so accommodating. And
stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, so Theunis is used to doing conventions.
Okay, it still feels weird sometimes. Like, are they looking at my machine? You know, am I running it too hard, too soft?
What are they going to steal from me this time? No.
But that's a good thing at the convention as well. So the one Cape Town convention we went to, Theunis kept hanging around this lady station, and he was like, and I'm like, I want to go eat. Like, let's hurry up. And he was like, just wait. And we stood there for like 45 minutes, and eventually he looked at me and he's like, I've got it. I've got it.
Clicks.
And from that day, his tattooing changed completely. So it's like just to be around other people and share each other's knowledge. And that's the problem in South African industry, is everybody's so closed off and not willing to share their information, where overseas that's not a thing. You know, so that's what I'm excited about, especially it being an international
Yeah, just like taking your tattooing to like that next level.
100%.
I mean, like even like because I watch your work. I mean, I look at you guys' stuff every day on Instagram, and like to be honest, like from last year to now, like the leap that you have taken, like it's like
Come a
shit,
long way,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
you know, I mean, but I mean, you got tenants to learn from.
For sure.
I mean,
I'm useless.
Yeah. He literally is the most useless teacher ever. But like he says, nobody can actually teach you how to tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah, but I had to. I mean, like the level of tattoo artists in South Africa alone, like have just jumped like phenomenally. So like you have to try and keep up. And also, you don't need to be in competition with anyone but yourself.
Yeah, that healthy
You wanna
competition. Yeah, you want to look at someone else's stuff and be like, I want to do better than that, but how do I get there and how do I figure that out?
For sure.
And you know, it's always taking that inward perspective of going, what am I actually doing wrong? And you know, what can I do better?
Yeah. So I think when I figured out kind of what style I wanted to go into, that's when I was able to do it a bit better.
Yeah.
You know, figure it out.
Yeah.
Because when you start tattooing, as you know, you're everywhere. You can't.
Yeah.
You know, doing everything.
But do you find like, especially in South Africa, you kind of need to know everything? Like if you specialize in, I mean, see, you basically, you're black and grey.
How can I say it? You know, in overseas countries, a lot of oaks are just doing freehand tattooing.
Yeah.
You know, in this country, there's just no market for it.
No.
So if I had to turn around and go, I would love to do freehand, dark, evil stuff every day of my life.
Yeah, you can pick me, dude. I'm open.
But I'm going to have 5 customers and I'm going to starve. You know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to do everything. You know. And then obviously there's just certain things that she does better than the rest, and there's certain things that I do better than the rest, and that's why people book us for certain things.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But we do everything from tribal to infinities, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think it's got better. I don't know if you've noticed, like people kind of book you mostly for your style. Like, so I've got a lot of, obviously we still do a lot of scripts and split tattoos because people like that, but lots of people only book me for my fine line.
Yeah, but I guess like the more you're posting about it and the more you're showing that like this is what I actually do. I mean, you do a lot of fine line, a lot of floral, like, you know, like that shit's really good. Like, I mean, your pepper shading is on point. But I mean, like with you, T, like not a lot of people know that you do color realism.
No.
I mean, like I watched you do that piece at the Pretoria convention. I mean, it's still on my own Instagram page, and I'm like, I was blown away. I was like, how the? I was like, geez, dude, like, where did this come from? Like, how did? But I guess, like, you know, as you said, like, you went to art school and like you're a black and gray artist, so you just kind of apply that into like your color tattoo work, like with realism.
I do everything. People just like my black and gray, and they book me for my black and gray. So if something else comes up, I'll grab it.
Yeah. So like you obviously, like if I had to come to you going like, cool, I want My Little Pony, like you'd be like fucking stoked, like let's do it.
Making fucking you.
Put like a little horn, like little like spiky dog collar on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Done. I'm cool. Got on my like ass cheek. Done. Sweet. No, that's cool, man. Like it's really cool that you guys offer like, you know, the variety. You know what I mean? Like you also have Tony, and I mean the stuff that you guys knock out it's next level. You know, it's really awesome. But I mean, like in comparison to overseas stuff, like you guys are on that level. Like I would put you there. You know.
We definitely try. Like we
Yeah, but I mean that's all that you can really do. You know. But I mean, if on that overseas level, if someone from overseas had to like come to you guys, go, hey, I got us 2 chairs open. Like, you know, what shop would you want that from?
So, like, that's very hard because there's so many good studios. But I've been following this guy, Charlton, from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, he does fine line florals, but he is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I would definitely take the opportunity.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, some of the fine line guys overseas, so when I was trying to find my feet, I, like, would DM them and ask them questions, and they 100% answered.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Shit.
with no issues whatsoever. But definitely him, like, his work's out of this world.
Yeah. See, I can see you like in Bang Bang in New York City, just knocking shit out, just like day after day.
Detroit.
Yeah, just let's go, man. Like, you know. But I mean, if you had that opportunity, like if Bang Bang came to your door and it's like, hey, man, can make like $10,000 a day.
Well, we had the opportunity. We were in Cape Town at Metal Machine. At
Derek's
shop.
Yeah.
And we were working with Bob Terrell and Randy Engelhardt
Shit.
and Benjamin Moss. All of us were in one shop. And we had such a joy. I would love to work with Bob.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to drink myself to death because he doesn't stop. He's a party animal.
Yeah. He's also got like that very dark look as well as something that's like you
it's
into.
so neat, but it's so dark.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of acts can go dark, but it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And then if I had to pick a second choice, I'll probably pick somebody like Matt Jordan in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Shipshape.
Okay.
I've always loved his work. I can't tell you, he just does something different.
Yeah.
Maybe even Joshua Colton.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely Joshua.
Yeah.
Joshua's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
We've spoken to him personally. He's such a rare human being. Humble.
Yeah. No, it's always cool to like be able to approach those overseas artists and they actually open the door for you and go like, "Shit, you guys, here you go. Here's what we know. Take and deal with it as you please." You know, in regards to like that international thing of like, here's just knowledge, just feed on it. Like,
Well, she wasn't even tattooing that much yet, and she was standing next to Randy Engelhardt.
cheers.
And he's like, looked at her and said, "You can ask me anything."
Anything you want. And I didn't
And she's
have
like,
one question.
Like,
I didn't know.
where do I
put me
start?
on the spot here. Yeah.
I was just like, hey, I'll just watch you. He's like, it's fun, no
Yeah.
problem. And at the convention, I mean, every single person that walked to his booth, he stood up and he greeted them.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
And he's a
Big
human being.
Yeah.
No, well, the day in the shop, the biggest joke was, hey, Randy, it looks like he shrunk your inks on us because he hasn't been in the gym in the week that he was in Cape Town.
Yeah. No, it's always cool. Like, it's, I don't know if you guys also notice it though as well. Like, I mean, international artists going like, here's all the knowledge. Like, and like you brought it up with like locally, everyone's so sacred with their own stuff. Do you find like that's kind of holding us all back here?
100%.
Right.
100%. Even if I sit with you for a whole week and you show me how you tattoo,
Yeah.
I show you how I tattoo, we will never tattoo the same.
No. I
You know what I mean?
don't think it is.
So
yeah.
that's, I think, I don't know if that's what everybody's hung up on, like if they give any of their knowledge that somebody might be better than them. You know,
Yeah.
it's weird, but it is 100% holding the industry back. Where we go, like, if someone comes in and someone else can do the job better, we'll send them that way. Like, you're only doing
Yeah.
the clients a justice, you know?
Yeah, I think everyone's ego kind of gets in the way with that of like,
100%.
I think it's also not just like the ego, it's like that they want to just hold on to that money and I mean, just my own personal opinion is that like there's just too many shops.
There are.
I think that another big problem is apprenticeships go out too easy.
Yeah.
And then a week later, this apprentice goes, well, there's no respect for this industry. I'm just going to go open up a shop 100 meters down the road.
Yeah.
Now, that was going to teach that apprentice all his knowledge. The next day comes in just going, I'm not going to teach you anything. Why must I teach you so you can open up 100 meters down the road and screw me over?
Like the
And
last
I
person,
think,
yeah.
I think it just boils down to common
Respect.
respect and loyalty.
Yeah.
And if that's sorted out, a lot more knowledge will go out. So,
Yeah.
less apprentices, better apprentices.
Yeah.
you know?
And the standard of tattooing in
just
South
go
Africa
up.
is like, yeah,
Go out
you know.
100%. Yeah. There's more than enough clients. There's more than enough clients out there. But again, obviously times are tough in South Africa,
Yeah.
so people are always looking for a
The
good
better deal,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So I mean, if they could standardize pricing a little bit, that would be cool. But then if everybody stuck to it, and then people would go to the artists for their work and not for price.
Yeah.
So there are a few tweaks that need to be done, but I don't think it would ever get done. So.
But it
The government can't help us in any other way.
but do we really need the government? I mean, if you look overseas, you can kind of like
do a body corporate type thing with tattoo artists, but then you get like who's going to govern it and who's going to enforce it. So it would be great. It would be amazing.
They can't even supply us with power.
ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think definitely if we can try and regulate, I guess, like
100%.
the industry in South Africa with, you 20 years plus, like, cool, your hourly rates here, 1.6, and like everyone in the same year brackets, like, I guess it also, like, you gotta look at like the quality of work.
100%.
I mean, you can be tattooing for 20 years and still look like you've been tattooing for 5 years. how do you justify that time for you charging?
I was the one day I was looking at this Oak's work on the internet, and I was like, it's amazing, you know. And then I read up on him, and he was tattooing for something stupid like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? No, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
But I guess that also goes back to like your apprenticeship. Like if you go to the right people, taught the right thing, and like you actually stick it out, you know.
If you don't have like a proper portfolio,
Yeah.
don't bother becoming a tattoo artist, you know,
Yeah.
because you're just going to get left behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see that in anybody that tattoos well in South Africa, they had a proper apprenticeship. 100%.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Sean Parents, I met him, he was spray painting walls. And I looked at him and was like, it's amazing, how do you do this? You know,
Yeah.
and Sean Parents is a well-respected artist.
No,
now,
he is, yeah.
you know?
Yeah, he's in the island at the moment, isn't he?
It's
Yeah.
same as Rusty. I met him.
Yeah. Also.
He was a tagger.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But I mean, if you
his
have
work's
like
phenomenal though.
yeah. But I mean, if you have that artistic and creative bone in you, like it becomes a little bit easier.
For sure.
But I mean, I guess it's also like, you know, as we
They-
keep going back to, it's like that's
Those guys didn't have to learn how to draw. They just learned
they
how
had
to
it.
tattoo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's
And they stuck out their apprenticeships, and they actually were grateful and humble about it, and like, shit, if this is what's going to make me money for the rest of my life, it's not even just the money, if this is the lifestyle and what I want to be part of for the rest of my life and have respect for the industry itself, like, you know, gone are the days of a traditional apprenticeship. You know, you don't learn how to make needles anymore. You don't learn how to tune a coil machine. Like, everyone goes like, oh, well, here's your rotary. There you go. Fake skin, carry on. You know, if we brought back like certain practices of a traditional apprenticeship, I think certain things are like, cool, come into the shop, learn to be sterile, learn to sweep and mop the shop. Like,
I was thinking more toothbrush and
yeah, your own toothbrush.
your own toothbrush
Yeah.
in this toilet.
The threats that we all got.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I guess like those certain things, if we can fine tune them and actually have some way to control them within the industry, within everyone else, I guess, like, you know,
It would just make the industry better.
yeah.
And especially for the clients, just so that they know if they step into any studio, it's okay. It's safe.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in regards to clients, like, how do you advise a client on the best way to, like, how do you find your artist? How do you get into a studio and go, can I see your portfolio? How do I book with you guys? You know, how do you tell the client, like, this is the right person that you need to look for?
Right. So, like, obviously, they need to know what they want. Like,
Yeah.
lots of clients don't, which is a problem. But just do your research, do your homework, and don't believe everything on social media.
Yeah.
Like, go into the studio, speak to clients. It's also word of mouth, or actually seeing people have tattoos from that artist.
Yeah.
That's the best way to choose your artist, is to actually see their work and see their work healed. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
I
That
definitely.
was my main point.
Yeah.
Everybody's on this photoshopping mission, on photoshopping their work,
Yeah.
making it look better. And at the end of the day, they're actually stealing from everybody, because we can both tattoo elephants, but you Photoshop yours, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you put up your prices and you take all the work. And you're actually lying, because your customer's going to walk out and going, well, that's not really what it looks like on my arm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sites on social media now that's actually going after those people.
I think there's one tattoo
Tattoo
truth.
Truth Fairy,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. They've
And
nailed some big names
Big
on
names,
that.
and
Yeah.
you know, it's pieces that's around on social media that we all look at going,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. I wish I can tattoo like that. And then you see
Yeah.
the real piece and you're like, I'm
What-
actually
what is
better than
that?
that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah.
At least that made us feel better about
Yeah, I
tattooing.
felt a lot better. Okay. I
like
haven't wasted 21 years of my life. You know?
You can actually do this without, like, you know, having slider people.
So all the work that we post is...
Yeah, exactly. It's your work.
obviously,
It's
it's maybe a
unedited.
bit of lighting, but there's no social
Yeah. I mean, like-
photoshopping or anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, the best, like, tattooer's best friend at the moment, especially with photography, is like our CPL filters. You know, that just basically takes away all the glare and you see the actual photo. But I mean, like, in the comparison to like a fresh tattoo and a healed tattoo, like, you'll see the actual tattoo of what it really is at the end once it's healed. You know, so
Can you put in your black as black, you know?
yeah, you know, like, you need to see like those tonal differences and I mean those blends, and you know, it's always like that thing. Like, I mean, going back to the whole tradition of tattooing, like, you know, everyone has Procreate and everyone has iPads and everyone's now going like, oh, I do a traditional tattoo, but my line work looks like shit. Let me just quickly fix it up. And, you know, that's how...
What was it called? Procreate Black? Or no, Photoshop
Yes,
Black and
Photoshop
Procreate
Black,
White.
yeah. Yeah, you know.
Add more highlights in your tattoo before you post it.
Yeah, you know, and I guess, like, you know, if you had to tell a client, like, if I was your client now, you know, do you look at portfolio, like, face-to-face, and in comparison to portfolio, you know, look at the quality of work, and then how do you justify the price on that quality? You know, is it just, don't price shop, but portfolio shop, you know, something like that?
I think it's the, how can I say it, almost BMW, Volkswagen.
Yeah.
They're both good, but you're just going to pay more premium for BMW.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to...
It is, even, I mean, you to justify what you charge
Yeah.
as well. I mean, sometimes I only charge a person for 8 hours and I tattoo them for 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's a little bit of a give back to their clients, yeah.
100% job. But I mean, you get what you pay for.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I mean, the amount of cover up and fix ups
Yeah.
that walk into studio because they were bargain hunting. Then you're
Yeah.
literally paying double anyway, so you might as well have gone to someone that
Yeah.
knows
Like
what
last
they're
night,
doing.
she was dealing with a customer, and she said, no, the starting price is 600, and he said, well, what can I get for 400?
Nothing.
Nothing, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, sorry, we don't have 400 rand sleeves
He goes,
available
"No,"
today.
he told her, I've paid 2,000 rand for a sleeve. I'm like,
I'm like,
Okay,
that's
well,
amazing, good for you.
yeah.
You know, then,
Wow.
go back to the oak then.
Yeah.
Jeez.
yeah.
But I guess that also that's that whole regulation of, you know, like setting that standard of tattooing in South Africa needs to be done. And, you know, I guess like with the regulation and like a board that can regulate it, you know, like in the States, I mean, they have licenses. You can't tattoo without that license. And if you do, you can be charged.
And is it
and
not
sued.
more for like the hygiene perspective of
Yes,
tattoo?
yeah.
The thing is, you can survive a bad tattoo. You can fix
Yeah,
it
yeah.
with a bad tattoo. You can't undo hepatitis. That
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
that's what you're paying for as well. I mean, our starter fee is literally covering our barriers.
Yeah.
Our barrier
Yeah.
tape and our plastics and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
Yeah.
like just like your general setup. I mean,
For
you
sure.
guys are starting price, what, 600?
which is cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've heard cases of like Cape Town is like 1,000 rand is like starting price.
Yeah.
We decided to rather take a knock on the small tattoos and get people tattooed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because once you get tattooed, to get
It's
the next one is just a lot easier.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, cool, let's get you tattooed. Let's get you a nice, small little 600 rand tattoo. And in a month's time,
We'll talk about
book
it,
the
yeah.
sleeve, you know.
Yeah.
I'll make my money there, you know.
But it's not about making the money. It's like it's that experience for that client. I guess
No,
like
for sure.
for most people, getting that first tattoo, it's so daunting. Like you're like, I'm gonna go sit in a tattoo studio like with these people that are scary, they're tattooed. You know, what conversations do I expect? You know.
And not everybody wants to have big tattoos.
No,
They
no.
really don't.
But I've actually found like that's actually kind of more of a trend lately. Is like people want to get those like palm size and smaller tattoos. Like they want to be in out. You know, like I've got a quick 20-minute lunch break. Let me see if I can quickly squeeze one in. You know, so
And lots of people are doing the like doodle tattoos and like you know because they went there for a holiday and you
Yeah.
know they like getting little souvenirs and all of that jazz. So you
tattoo
have to
to
cater for
relate
them,
to.
you know. Yeah.
yeah, I know. But one day we'll get there, and hopefully through these things, like people will see, and like I guess that's kind of like, you know, getting the inside of people that have the experience that you guys have. You know, you've dealt with over 1 million clients, pretty much.
Especially coming from the industry back.
Yeah,
Oh.
you know, the comparison of, I mean, what was 10, 15 years ago to what is now, like it's
It's
crazy.
leaps and bounds. Like making your own
Well, we were building our own needles.
needles,
Yeah,
mixing
building
our
your
Mixing our own
own
inks.
Yeah.
All this stuff had to be imported from overseas. Obviously,
Yeah.
my stepfather was using his friends over there to get the stuff in.
Yeah,
But so now everything's better. The inks are better. The needles are better. The
Yeah.
equipment's better. Our knowledge is better.
yeah. Your
So-
techniques, the way, the application,
100%,
everything. Yeah,
100%. So.
yeah. So
Yeah, well, the stuff was so back then. You had to dig it in there. Today, you can just brush it in, you know.
yeah. Well, I guess that's why it hurts, and like everyone has like this preconceived.
I think the old guys were just much harder than us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 31 this year, and I guess like my skin's like a little bit of a snowflake skin.
I don't get tattooed anymore, man.
Yeah, no, that shit hurts, man.
It fucking hurts.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get there, as I said, you know. But I mean, like in the meantime, like with everything that's going on, I mean, you guys are carrying on, and it's really cool. You know, I actually need to come get some work from you guys. I got my whole back. I've been trying to chat to you about it. Like,
Freehand.
yeah, we'll do a freehand back as long as it's a Voodoo King. I'm cool.
He offered freehand earlier. Don't change your mind.
No, I'm not. I didn't change my mind.
At least if I fuck it up, you can't see it. It's on his back.
Well, yeah, I don't really look at my back, just my ass.
Oh no, I can't see so lekker.
But I mean, like, how do clients book with you guys? Like, you know, if they want to come in and get tattooed. Or
Well, they can like WhatsApp us, DM us, email us. Like, we're not sticky with that kind of thing. We check everything. But yeah, it's pretty easy. They can come into the studio. We do ask most of the clients to come in for a consultation. It's just nice to know exactly what they want. But yeah, like in any form of communication, really, just a reference, image, placement, and size, and we send back quotes and availability. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's just like, just pop a message like, hey, this is what I'm looking at, this is where I want it, you know, this is how big I want it. You know, I guess there's no like misconceived conception about it. It's like, you're gonna tell me exactly where you want it, how you want it, and I can tell you, cool, this is what it is, and that's how it is. So,
100%. Well, most of the time, I mean, lots of the time it happens, you know, people get there on the day and they've completely changed their mind.
Yeah.
And you know
Or
what?
we change it for them.
That's okay as well, so it's fine.
But I mean, like, I guess like a small change here and there isn't a problem. But I mean, if you're coming in to like change the whole thing, you're like, guy, come on, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest change I made was Oak came for a cross on his arm and he ended up walking with a back piece.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good.
The win-win situation for everyone, you know.
change his mind.
Yeah, no, it's easy to change a client's mind, but I mean, also like, you know, to try and direct them to do the right tattoo. I mean, you guys have had
100%.
lots of experience with that. I guess that's always like the big thing for clients is, you know, don't be scared to be like, I don't like this, but what can we do? You know, and listen to your artist. I mean,
I mean, at the end of the day, it is the client's tattoo, and we will never see them again.
Yeah.
But we're here to advise because this is what we do. But at the end of the day, it's their decision.
yeah,
As long as it's not down the lines of copying someone else's tattoo exact and that kind of thing, then we're happy to accommodate them and give it a tweak and, you know,
just have fun with it, I guess. Yeah. You want them to be
unique to
happy.
them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, that's cool, man. Like, you guys do the right thing. You guys have been doing the right thing for a long time, and you know, I'm pretty sure with myself and everyone else, like, we're pretty keen to see the growth of Awhe, and you know, we got Tony coming in, or we're going to be back here next month for Tony and like still chat with him. So I mean, a month's not really much time, but like, you know, keen to see what happens in a year or so.
For sure, definitely,
But thank you for being here today, guys, or
Thank you for
having
having
us
us.
here today.
Thank you.
It's been really cool. We've learned a lot, and I hope everyone else gets to also learn a lot from this. And if you guys want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. We'll be posting a link to Awhe's Instagram, Facebook, and their contact details in the links below. So if you guys want to book with them and get some really kick-ass tattoos, check out the link and get a booking with them. Till the next one.
Thanks, guys.